What is good, everyone? If you're experiencing the ugly, dreadful carbon fiber fade from your clear coat, well, continue watching the video as I'm going to show you an efficient way that you can restore it back to its natural glossy stage. The items for this project will be needing some wet sandpaper, 1500 grit, 800 grit, and if it's really bad, 600 grit. Then a can of clear coat paint. I strongly recommend getting this can or one that offers UV protection to prevent this from happening again. I have links to all these items in the video description down below. And you also want to pick yourself up a 3000 or 5000 grit sandpaper to smooth out the clear coat spray at the very end. So to prevent any mistakes from happening, I'll recommend removing the part off the vehicle because you do not want to sand around and accidentally sand your paint. So once off the car, you want to have a workspace that allows you to reach around all the areas, gives you plenty of room to start wet sanding. So before starting, I pre-washed the spoiler, making sure there wasn't any dirt, debris, or anything left on it. I had some water in the spray bottle and just spread it evenly across the part. And then once that's done, spray some on the sandpaper and begin sanding. I started at 800 grit, but you can start pretty much at 600 if you really need to, because during this sanding process, I noticed I wasn't going in too deep because I was still able to see some fogs and cracks. So from this point, I went down to 600 grit and started sanding even more. You know when a certain part is complete whenever you're unable to see the fade whenever water is applied. The water will act like the clear coat. If you're unable to see the fade or any cracks, then you're pretty much good and you can move on to the next part. So once you're done sanding with the rough grit, go ahead and switch to the 1500 grit and smooth out everything. Give it a nice smooth finish for the clear coat to be applied. And when you're done sanding, go ahead and get a cloth and rubbing alcohol and start rubbing away all the leftover residue left over by the sandpaper. And now we can go ahead and start applying the new clear coat. Since this basically will be the last part and you do not want to mess this up or else you have to repeat the sanding process again. So when applying the clear coat, make it even, spread out, don't get it too close. If you get too close, it will run and ruin everything. But you just want to stay a good distance, stay consistent, and once you apply the first clear coat, wait 5 minutes and apply the next one, and wait another 5 minutes and go on to the next one. On my spoiler, I only applied 3 clear coats, but if you're working on something big, you might have to apply a bit more. You'll know when it's done when everything is completely covered and it looks fantastic. So once you apply all the necessary clear coats, it's okay if it looks rough, bumpy on the edges, there's no gloss finishes. That's fine, that's what we're looking for. We're gonna let it dry for a good 24 hours, and when it's complete, we're gonna begin sanding it with the 3000 grit sandpaper to give it a nice glossy finish, or 5000 to make it even smoother. So 24 hours later, from here, if the spoiler is glossy, you don't see any rough areas, you're pretty much done. But if there's a couple of bumps and you're not really satisfied, you wanna give it a nice glossy feel, let's take the 3000 grit sandpaper and wet sand it one last time, and once you're done, clean it up with rubbing alcohol and place it back on the vehicle. And then apply some wax, buff it out, and bam, there we go. That's how you restore the fade off the carbon fiber, making it look almost brand new again. See that video right there? That I show you how easy it is to add a USB port to your car by just using items you might have laying around. So go ahead and check out that video and subscribe to the channel. But until next time, peace.